or something, and he wasn't even born then. And yeah, he couldn't do it.
I didn't know that Kyle worked at McDonald's for a week. So you have as much McDonald's experience as I had. No, you had more McDonald's experience than I had Ben and Jerry's experience.
Oh yeah, like in that week, I did a lot. Like if I walked in, like I did everything there is to do at a McDonald's. I never took I take that back. I never took the orders or handled cash, but all the behind the scenes stuff. So I made nuggets, I made burgers, like I cooked them. I assembled sandwiches on the line, and boxed them and slid them on down and everything. Made apple pies, made all the things that you cook. I did at one time or another. It was a terrible job. Yeah, it was a terrible job. Very dirty back there. I can remember taking the trash out and having like this gross slime on my hands and telling my manager I needed to wash my hands, but him being like, no, you got to get on the line, and just being like, but my hands, him like, the line. And I just made burgers with the most filthy hands imaginable because he told
disgusting.
Me to. I mean, it was garbage slime, when that water smells really bad and it just probably got salmonella in it.
I know a lot of people. I've met people in my life that owning a restaurant is their dream job, right? They know it's long hours, they know it's hard, but the restaurant is the peak of what they wish they could do. Not me, man. I used to work at a little grill, and the garbage was the worst part of it. I was low man on the totem pole, and I would have to handle that. And I wasn't very strong, so handling the garbage was like the peak of what I could do physically. And it was just such a freaking nightmare. And there's nothing grosser than restaurant garbage for me. I mean, it's just so bad. Does any other organization produce worse garbage?
Nursing home.
Okay.
All right, well, checkmate.
It's just a matter of being better packaged.
Every once in a while, there's a person in there.
we had a big issue. Like, the garbage is always leaky and stuff. And we had to, transport the whole can to the dumpster. Because if you were to grab the bag and carry that to the dumpster, it would leak across the boardwalk, and that you don't want that.
I had a wheelbarrow.
A wheelbarrow?
Full of McDonald's garbage?
Yeah, there would be multiple bags, probably 4 to 5 big bags, like the big 50-something gallon ones, and you'd throw them in the wheelbarrow and wheel it across the parking lot to one of those sort of enclosed dumpster situations, and then bag by bag throw it in there. And I don't know, even at 15, I was about 6 feet tall, so they would make me do that shit because a lot of times it would just be me working with a bunch of girls or me working with a bunch of girls and that retarded guy they allowed to sweep the parking lot or some shit like that. I thought it was going to be a fun job. I had a couple friends that were working there, and I thought, oh, yeah, we'll be singing songs while we throw pickles at each other. But no, it was just super lame. My boss was such a goober. I was cooler than him even as a 15-year-old working at McDonald's, and I knew it. He had married into, that McDonald's family, the lady who actually owns the franchise, right? He had married her daughter. So he had married into a little local Mickey D's royalty, and he thought he was hot shit.
Cha-ching.
Yeah, right.
The
money fountain has turned on for you, my friend.
No. The nuggets are on me.
Dude,
I stole so much food. Yeah. I would always I don't even like McDonald's nuggets, but they were there and they were free. So I would have
they weren't free.
Packets.
You stole them.
Yeah, they were free for me. So I'd have packets of nugget sauce, open, kind of tucked around behind shit. And I would just be eating nuggets all the time. Or sometimes I would just grab a whole meat patty and I just thought it was great to steal the food. So anytime I got a chance to steal some food, I would do it. I would bake 2 or 3 cherry pies and then go in the freezer and fucking eat 3 cherry pies as fast as I could. That.
I had a hookup at
your
McDonald's.
Face you're Oliver Twist in the back, hoping they don't catch you as you're slaving over hot stuff.
I had a friend who worked at McDonald's, and he worked the drive-through. Big, strong guy. And we'd go and we'd order a small fry, and back in the day, a small fry was 50 cents or something. And then he'd give us $21 worth of food. He'd just it just bag after bag after bag. And it's how far is this going to go? And then, you did hand him over 2 quarters and I guess we're even.
I told you guys about my friend from Buffalo Wild Wings, right?
Yes, he ruined the... Wait, the story where the waitress fucked up. So maybe not. Tell us.
No, just all the stealing of food reminded me of this. When I was a freshman in college, someone I knew from my dorm worked at the Buffalo Wild Wings near campus, and he didn't work there all the time. And eventually, got to the point where he was like, "You know what? Fuck this! Like, I'm not making good money. I'm only going when there's no games on because I'm a student. I want to watch the games for real. So I'm just gonna quit." And we're like, "All right, cool." And so he quit. And his last night, he came back with must have been 20 pounds of boneless wings in the plastic bags and a 10 like not 10 gallon like a 5-gallon giant plastic pouch of honey barbecue sauce.
Nice.
And so he was rushing a fraternity at the time, and everybody fucking loved him because he just was like, "Hey, I got enough fucking honey barbecue wings for the next 3 weeks." And if you look it up on their menu, that's like $400 of wings or something ludicrous that he stole. And I guess I was like, well, how'd you get that out of there, man? Like, did you just sneak it out, or what'd you do? He's like, no, they got in the refrigerator, they got a huge bag of wings and then a big bag of sauce. And so I just said bye to my boss, and then I walked back there and took them and walked to my car. We were like, there was no plan. And he's like, no, I didn't really even think it through till I got back to campus. And it was like, so, God, fucking idiot. But
that's how it. So there was definitely no lock and key on the food at McDonald's. There just wasn't any good food at McDonald's to steal. Like I didn't want to take any of that home. But I did remember, like, you get a free meal. So I would make my own meal, and I would make like a Big Mac. But I like their grilled chicken breast. I thought that was the actual best thing on the menu because it was tasty. And I'd make like a double. I'd make a grilled chicken Big Mac. I always like coming up with like magical. I just make stuff, just add stuff to it. I definitely ate more. I ate more than they paid me. Like, they were paying me whatever it was, $5.15 an hour or something like that, and I was eating like $8 worth of shit an hour. I had to be.
That's a feat at McDonald's to out-eat them.
Especially old school. And McDonald's, did you see the Reddit post of like McDonald's Next or whatever they're calling it?
Yeah. It's so
What
silly.
It looked amazing. It was a really seemingly high-end buffet McDonald's experience with an amazing salad bar, and like they were really changing their image. It was nothing like the McDonald's that I have in my head.
That's not because they're not doing as well as they used to. I think they've had bad numbers the last few years, so they're trying to figure something out. I know they just released some sort of new like dollar deal thing where you can get like 4 or 5 items for like $4 or something like that. I think it's like 5 things for $4, something like that. So they're really reaching, but going high end is not their.
I feel like people dog on McDonald's so hard that they need to totally make it like the opposite. Like, gosh, I've been telling this story a lot recently, but to tell it quickly, when I first worked at Cisco, I used to kind of, I don't want to say disrespect my manager, but I would maybe point out their stupidity. Like, I was much smarter than my managers, and every little thing they did, I'd just kind of poke at. Like, if it's Wednesday and they're like, so 2 days from now, that'll be and all I'd need to do is like make a look, or like you're seriously struggling to figure out Friday is 2 days from Wednesday. That kind of shit I would do constantly. Like, they just make little mistakes and I wouldn't let it slide. Eventually they counseled me to fix it, and I did, but it took forever for people to notice the change. I was frustrated by that. They're like, yeah, well, you like to poke at your managers. I'm like, no, I stopped 6 weeks ago. You can't.
Were you the resident badass on the floor at Cisco where like you're walking by and Pajit or whatever his name is, like, he goes, that is Matt. He does not give a fuck what the manager says. It's crazy. Just watch him sometime. He says all of these things. I cannot believe it.
It was pretty cool. It was the .com boom, and engineers were like every bit as valuable as their bosses were, and I maybe took advantage of that. But anyway, so I cleaned up my act. I started being really good, and 6 weeks later, it was like I still had this reputation for being a douche. At McDonald's, I feel like they've got a similar type thing. Like, they are McJob is a thing. No one says like Job King or Wendy Job or whatever it is. It's McJob. That's like the job that everyone makes fun of. I think they have to pay extra just to get people to choose them over Wendy's. If they want to clean up their like dietary act and make it healthier, they need to go extreme. People think of McDonald's as the food that makes you fast, right? The Super Size Me thing was based on McDonald's. Everybody freaking like throws darts at McDonald's, maybe deservedly, but to fix it, McDonald's can't just be as good for you as Wendy's, which is not that good. They need to be as good for you as Whole Foods or something.
Have you walked into a
McDonald's-
McDonald's recently? Like the redone ones? Like I haven't been to a shitty McDonald's in I can't even remember how long. All of them are nice if you go in on the inside.
I don't know. I just, in my heart, I just kind of look down on McDonald's and say, like, I wouldn't eat at a place like that. Like, this temple here gets better food than that. But I might be off target.
Wendy's.
Right?
Chick-fil-A.
It's better. Chick-fil-A is infinitely better than McDonald's. For the quality, it's got to be.
I think I'm the only guy that still holds a grudge on their, like, Christian anti-gay hate bigotry. Like, even my daughter, who you would think would be very stick to her guns about that sort of thing.
A little fickle when it comes to that hate chicken.
She's like, those bigots make a good sandwich.
Yeah.
That's what I say. Look,
if they had, yeah, go ahead.
They could literally be grinding gays up to make that chicken, and I would still eat it. That chicken is so fucking good. It's sweet almost somehow, and the batter is different. The whole experience is different. I like the waffle fries. I like the sweet tea. I like the lemonade. I don't care what they're doing to. If they were going after if they were going after me personally, I would still eat their chicken. It's good chicken.
Put a
You
mask
remember how
on.
McDonald's used to have on their bags? It'd be like Mia Hamm's choice or like Michael Jordan's pick, and it's like a Big Mac, which he clearly didn't eat. Chick-fil-A could have like the Grand Wizard's selection, and it's like a PK thing with his nuggets. Like, I'd still eat it. It's great. And they're so nice to you there compared to every other fast food place. Like, they don't even say, you're welcome. They say, my pleasure.
Dude,
at the ones near me.
Chick-fil-A franchises are cheap. Like, as much as I hate the idea of owning a restaurant, I was like, maybe. Because you can get a Chick-fil-A franchise for like $400,000.
They'll give you a Chipotle franchise. They'll pay you $500 just to open one at this point.
So yeah, Chick-fil-A, like McDonald's, or I'm sorry, a good Wendy's location will be like $3 million. I looked into this recently, and a Chick-fil-A will be like $250,000 to $400,000. It's like, what is the scoop with this? And they're way more profitable than a Wendy's.
Always packed.
But like, they kind of select you. They make sure that you're a good Christian before you can open a Chick-fil-A. You have to like work your way up to owner at Chick-fil-A. Like Wendy's, they'll sell me a fucking franchise. You know, I'll be like, I don't know anything about owning a restaurant. No problem. You know, we'll send you to Wendy's Academy. At Chick-fil-A, like, you need to have worked the register for a while and be selected. They need to get to know you. It's a different culture.
If I were going to open a franchise, it would be Cookout. I've said this before, but every time I go to it, the place is just called Cookout. They've got a really massive menu. They do everything from hot dogs and hamburgers to they got like 50 different milkshakes and I don't know, quesadillas and just a little bit of everything. Kind of like a Jack in the Box type place, but it's better. It's much better. And I've seen, yeah, kind of. But every time I've seen them open up, I saw one open up in Anderson, South Carolina, and I saw one open up in East Atlanta. And the lines for the first couple of months are so outrageous that it causes traffic problems. Like the one in East Atlanta, you didn't even use the standard ordering technique. They used cones to make a giant line that just went around the borders of the parking lot. And when you first got it in the back of the line, if you're the last person, a guy comes to your car and hands you a paper menu, and you've got like 5 minutes to look over this menu before you get to the point in line, and you're in your car still, of course, where you get in point in line where someone says, okay, what would you like? And they write it down on a piece of paper and give it to you. And when you finally get to the speaker, you don't order. You hand it to another guy, and he says it into the speaker. And then you wait some more. And it's absurd, this line. And it literally, I'm not exaggerating, 3 a.m, it's still like that. And I'm just thinking, like, they're bringing in so much cash selling these hot dogs and hamburgers to these people. It's ridiculous. And it was true in both cases. And it is good food.
I haven't even heard
I'd get one of those. Yeah, I think they're small. I've only seen maybe 3 or 4 ever.
I'd probably open a Steak and Shake, but I would break the mold with Steak and Shake and not hire any ex-felons. No ex-felon. Have you ever been to a Steak and Shake? This isn't a joke. Like, I've never been to a Steak and Shake and felt comfortable. Like, I've never walked in and it's a 50s style diner, and you walk in and sit down, and like, you'll just look over, and the line cook will be giving you like a surly look, It's like, I didn't do anything to you, man. Like, I'm just trying to get, and now I don't feel comfortable ordering. If you ask for one thing, like a special order, like, oh, I want the ketchup and onion, slider, but just, throw some mustard on there too, or like, to get rid of the onion. They'll just, ugh. I had a waitress give me an audible groan once when I asked for extra Frisco sauce on my Frisco melt. Yeah, Frisco melt, extra Frisco sauce, because your fucking location always fucking rips me off with the Frisco sauce. Like you're rationing Thousand Island back there. Stop pretending that it's an actual sauce you made up. It's fucking Thousand Island, and we all know it. Put it on there. And just, all right, sir. It's like I know you're on parole, but come on.
Smile.
Give me a smile.
I think Five Guys would be a good one to get too, because like they don't have a lot of. So I think Subways might be the best. Because Subway is so simple that there's not a lot of overhead. I feel like you could run a Subway out of a shack in your backyard. But Five Guys isn't much bigger. They've just got a couple of grills and a fryer because all they do is French fries, hot dogs, and hamburgers. That's it. I think they do a vegetable.
Shit you can put on the burgers, though.
Yeah, but I mean, all that stuff comes in bags and just goes in a little thing. It's ketchup and mustard and like mushrooms and jalapeno peppers. Like that's all stuff that comes out of a bag or a jar. And I think they don't even freeze the meat, so they don't have the meat storage issue. It shows up fresh every day. So that's got to be.
Have you heard that thing about how Wendy's will say like fresh, never frozen?
Yeah.
Like apparently there's some kind of stipulation about what needs to occur before you can claim something is fresh, never frozen. And so Wendy's will have it frozen on their trucks. This could be some bullshit that I just read, but who knows? Someone correct me if I'm wrong. But Wendy's will have it frozen on the trucks, but make it so that by the time it gets to their respective franchises and chains, it's not frozen anymore. So it arrives to them not frozen. So they're allowed to say, this has never been frozen,
Yeah.
I'm the Wendy's manager. To my knowledge, it just shows up slightly cool. But anyway.
Well, their burgers are square